And welcome in for game number 2 of your 7th Region semifinals tonight. Justin Kalen back here with Coach Mark Lieberman as we are set now for the St. X Tigers, 30-3 on the season, and the 16-15 Seneca Redhawks. As we will go ahead and bring you your starting lineups quickly for St. X. They're going to trot out Chief Cameron wearing number 4, Chance Dillingham number 11, 5'10 junior, Graham Kraisman, a 6'7 junior, wearing number 13. Jeremiah Jackson, number 23, a 6'4 sophomore. And Will Hankey, a 6'4 junior, as St. X donning their golden uniforms here in this one. Seneca going to trot out Kelron House, a 6'3 senior. Quare Akal, a 6'7 senior. Tyron Gray, a 5'9 senior. And Terrence Wilson, a 6' senior, will be joined out there by Preston Wheatley, the 8th grader, at 6'4", wearing number 12, as we're going to get an early bucket here in this one. And St. X on top by 2. Coach, give me a couple things we need to watch for tonight with this St. X team.
Well, St. X is going to just extend their pressure, and they've developed a mentality of just pressing, speeding up the game, and not take Seneca too lightly, and just they've had a great record. You just want to finish the job and do what you do. Force turnovers and play fast.
How about on the other side of things for Seneca? A couple things they need to worry about.
Just shock them. And they got to play with great poise, not turn it over. We saw the first possession they did. They've got to limit. They've got to get under 11 turnovers. They've got to be patient. They've got to run their stuff. And that's the formula to stay in the game against St. X.
Well, they've got a good leader at the top in Kelron House, averaging 27.7 points per game. That's number 4 in white. So keep your eye on him as this one goes along tonight.
Seneca, the same thing, man-to-man, full court, and kind of a little token pressure. St. X is really good at running offensive sets. They're going to run 14 or 15 sets and continue to get ball movement with their guys.
And Cameron trying to drive in for his second bucket. That one misses off the side. And this is a game featuring a difference in styles, Coach, as St. X wants to get up and down the floor. They're averaging 83 points a game. Meanwhile, Seneca averages 65.5, so nearly a 20-point difference as Hankey scoops it up and in.
Well, I think Seneca does want to play that way, but it's going to be tough footing against the St. X team that does a really good job extending their pressure.
Here comes Quare, a call all the way down the floor, and he's going to draw some contact as he tried to get in. Head coach Leroy Hickerson for Seneca in his first season, a Fairdale grad back in 2000. Played professionally in Latin America and Israel for 10 years. Head coach for St. X is Kevin Klein. In his 16th season, 312 wins to just 166 losses, as he was the 7th Region Coach of the Year on the boys' side of things, as that ball poked out of bounds.
Yeah, and with Kelron House, you see them just really trying to smother him and running a second defender at him, make life really tough. You know you can crowd them because the help is there.
Yep. There's now a 3 fired up and splashed home by Tyron Gray. And the Redhawks are on the board.
Just a breakdown there and just backing off and not pressuring the basketball. You just don't want to have those things. You don't want to have Seneca think they have life. You want to try and extend this lead and make Seneca play from behind, because if they can stay in the game, then they know they have a chance.
Chief Cameron firing up the 3, can't convert as House comes away with the rebound. House, by the way, as you'd expect somebody averaging nearly 28 points a game to be, a member of the all 7th Region team this season. As that last foul going against Chance Dillingham.
There's St. X going man-to-man, full court pressure, really making Seneca have to work. And again, sometimes it won't force a turnover, but it's going to wear them down.
By the way, St. X with a 30-point win the first time these two teams met this season. 89-59 was the final score in that one, expecting this one to be much closer as House gets all the way to the bucket, can't convert, but the offensive rebound and stick back up and in by Terrence Wilson.
Those are the little things right there. You get a stop, you don't squeeze the basketball. All of a sudden you're down 1 halfway through the quarter. And these are the type of things when you're playing against an opponent that you've already beaten and you feel confident, you just got to do everything that you've done before and play within your system. It's the second turnover now on St. X.
Yeah. By the way, your starting lineups tonight were brought to you by Ruoff Mortgage, opening doors. And tonight's keys to the game also have their own sponsor, IBEW Local 369. Power up your potential. As quickly to the bucket, and how about that scoop and score by Terrence Wilson?
Yeah, just a straight line drive and gets to the rim and no resistance. And that's not what you want to see out of your defense early on, and allowing Seneca to get 7 early points.
Dillingham on the step back, misses everything, as Jackson trying to save it in bounds and can't quite do so. So back to Seneca it goes as they lead by 3 minutes into this contest. And you mentioned it, the closer this stays, the more momentum and confidence they gain. So we'll see if they can keep it close or how long they can keep it close.
Hey, it's like the movie Rounders. You just hang around. You
That's
just keep hanging around, and you never know what's going to happen.
Now in the corner.
It's one of my favorite movies, by the way.
Good to know. I'll keep that in mind moving forward. As the three-pointer splashed home, Terrence Wilson on fire to start this one as he's got 7 of the 10 for the Redhawks. Now Dillingham, he will, well, we're going to get a foul called, I think, on the screen.
Yeah, it was a step-up screen. He moved his shoulders, and
Grazeman.
you know, you got Grazeman setting it, and all of a sudden, you know, you've got 3 team fouls, and you know, you're down 6. And you just, you know, playoff games like this, you don't want to underestimate anybody. And we see that all the time in college basketball and conference play. You just got to be prepared and focused on what you have in front of you.
That's the second foul called against Grazeman, by the way, so he'll head to the sideline as he's replaced by Bryce Johnson, a 6'5 sophomore, as House keeping the possession alive, and he's going to draw some contact.
Now, usually you tell players don't dribble loose balls, and he was trying to. He had 3 St. X guys around him. He's able to find it, pick it up, and get to the rim and get fouled.
Already the 4th team foul against St. X, so far from ideal this start for them. But they're a team, as we discussed, 83 points a game this season. They've got a ton of firepower and can claw their way back into games in a hurry.
You know, they're really good at running a bunch of sets. What's happened here is they're out of sorts, they're out of rhythm, and Seneca's pressed a little bit, has been really aggressive on the ball, and you've got Dillingham and the other guards are just trying to make too many plays off the bounce. Trust your system.
Dillingham, by the way, this team's leader in terms of points, 17.5 a contest. He, too, a member of the All-7th Region team, also shoots 45% from deep. As Jackson going to take some contact down low, as that was Wilson that got him.
And you see Seneca defensively is really sloughing off. They're really sagging in the paint, almost daring you to shoot threes.
Chief Cameron going to come off the floor as the 5'11 freshman Brandon Days makes his way out there. Dillingham, the trigger man, gets it in for Hankey. It goes right back to Dillingham. And he'll get that ball poked away. Wheatley, the freshman, or the 8th grader rather, coming down the floor with it. And his shot a little wild. St. X now with a run out as Dillingham, how about that, jumped right into the contact and gets the finish.
You know, really good guards. They find contact on the break. They initiate it so they can get that call. That's a big swing. You know, Seneca had a chance to go up 10. Instead, it's cut back down to 6. And this also allowed St. X to get into their pressure.
Coach Hickerson arguing his case down there on the sideline, but great body control by Dillingham, taking the contact and still finding a way to make the bucket, but he can't convert on the three-point play. Now Wheatley, and we are going to get it over and back. I think there was a possibility for about 3 different turnovers right there.
I think he called the carry because he hadn't fully established himself over half court, so I don't know if it was either one.
Yeah, I think it was carry, yeah. Wild flurry there by Wheatley, who I mentioned, 8th grader. He is the 2nd leading scorer for this team at 11.9 points per game. Driving in, kicking it off now, and laying it up, or splashing that one home was Jackson. The 6'4" sophomore, and St. X back to within 4.
Back-to-back turnovers leads to 4 points for St. X. That's what we talked about early on, the poise. Have poise, take care of the basketball. No reason to force it.
Now here is Kelron House trying to find his range as good looking shot for him, but he couldn't get that one to fall. As now quickly Jackson going inside against Akol and takes some contact.
See what St. X wants to do off each miss or off each rebound. They're blasting out, and guys are running the floor. Seneca's got to make a concerted effort to have great floor balance and transition defense and get back and stop the ball.
It'll be Jackson heading to the stripe. Jeremiah getting his first field goal just moments ago. See if he can gather 2 more here at the stripe.
And line Jackson to shoot 2.
As first one up and in. For the early start time tonight and the rain outside, we sure do have a nice crowd inside here at Valley. As Jackson goes 1 of 2, and the offensive rebound keeps the possession alive for the Tigers. That's Brandon Days, the freshman, in possession as he leaves it off for Hankey. Now back with Dillingham. Dillingham works it to his right, 3-pointer here, and that's just short. But Jackson on the rebound, his stick back no good, and ball poked out of there by House. Here he comes, and they're going to let him just put that up and in.
And I know Jackson was frustrated, great position, and made a great move, but early in the offense, they've got to try and find him and play inside out and get him some touches.
And 6 minutes through this first quarter, it's Seneca on top by 5. St. X starting to pick up the intensity, at least on the offensive rebounding, giving themselves some extra opportunities. As here is Jackson on top, Dillingham, long 3, and this comes off as Akol with a big rebound down low.
If I'm Seneca here, you don't need to rush. I mean, just don't need to force it. Make sure you have great floor balance, and just move the basketball. Be patient. That's the formula for, last time giving up so many points. Make this a half-court game. Make them really have to work defensively.
Well, and so far, St. X just 9 points up on the scoreboard. Far cry from the first meeting. As Akol going to leave it off now for House, who shimmies, gets inside, and can't get the bucket to drop. But Akol on the rebound, and he can't finish.
It was really good offense. Look, they were very patient, got the ball to their best player. He couldn't make it. And a good offensive rebound as well. But, it's good possession.
Somebody the caliber of Kelron House, those shots will start falling eventually, just like Jeremiah Jackson, splashing home that tray. And they're going to give it an over and back here.
Yeah, he had never established himself in the backcourt before he caught it. And that's what pressure will do sometimes. And it kind of disrupts what you're trying to do.
St. X back in possession here as number 21, Noah Sosa Friedman, a 5'10 junior, makes his way out there for the first time. And he'll trigger the inbounds here. Goes into the backcourt for Days. Days now going to leave this one off.
Yeah, if you're St. X, you don't have to wait for the last shot because you can probably pressure them again, but it looks like that's the formula right here. I'd want to increase possessions against the Seneca team.
Now down under 10 seconds left in this first quarter.
Well, they got the ball to the right guy.
Jeremiah Jackson on the turnaround, and he connects, and that will tie it up after 1. 14 apiece for both of these teams as we head to the second quarter deadlock here in Game 2 of our 7th Region semifinals. We've got more upcoming on Glycod.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, You know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
Second quarter set to get underway here from Valley High School. Game 2 of 2 this evening for your 7th Region semifinal action. Justin Kalen back here alongside Mark Lieberman. And an entertaining first quarter as Seneca able to get out to a pretty sizable lead early, but St. X battling their way back. And they're continuing to put on the defensive pressure here, but a good cut to the bucket and leads to an easy layup down low for Corian Martin.
Yeah, again, they trapped the ball screen, but you got to fly out of that to recover. If they fly out of that, they take away that middle reversal.
Now St. X once again trailing in this contest as the freshman Days kicks this one out for Johnson. On top now to Klein, and coach's son, Connor Klein, splashes one home for the first bucket of the quarter for St. X. Seneca now, ball in the hands of Gray as he gets it off for House. Kelron back to Gray in the corner, and his three misses. And that ball's going to go out of bounds, but it stays here with Seneca.
As we saw in the first game, those are tough. Those air balls are always tough to gauge as far as how they're coming off the boards and for a rebound.
As here goes House on the deep three, and how about that shot as he splashes it home?
Yeah, he's a shot maker. He's crafty, and already you can just see he's got great rhythm and knows how to play.
7 points now for Kilron House, and trying to take this one over. Both guys on the ground, but St. X keeping it alive. Off for Chief Cameron. Cameron inside, leaves this one off. Now back with Days. And Days loses his footing as Kelron House comes away with it. Spins off of his defender and all the way to the bucket. And they called a block, didn't they? They did.
They did.
Yeah. Didn't think they were going to call a charge there. I didn't think he was there in time.
Again, Seneca's applying so much pressure on the St. X guards, and it's just taking them out of their rhythm. St. X is a team that likes to run a lot of sets and get into their stuff, but they're making them really uncomfortable.
As House's first one up and in. I mentioned a 30-point win for St. X the first time in this matchup earlier this season. How easy is it, Coach, to take something out of a 30-point loss and turn it into a positive for the next meeting?
Oh, yeah, and especially when it's a playoff game. So you're here now, and the biggest thing is not about what you're going to do, but your opponent's just going to you're knowing that, hey, we just show up and we're going to get a win. And all of a sudden, you're midway through the second quarter and you're down 4.
Yeah.
And if
Cameron's shot blocked away.
House had the block there.
Cameron will try again, and another miss. As House will take some contact. Second foul against St. X.
Yeah, he broke up that play with an electric block, and they are flying all around. And when you do that in these type of games, and we see it in every level of basketball, they believe right now. You can see them, their mindset. They're attacking, they're aggressive defensively, they're getting to the rim. If they just don't turn the ball over against pressure, I think they're going to be fine.
I've been very impressed with Seneca here in the early going of this one. As once again, they're going to get an easy bucket. This time it's the 8th grader Wheatley for his first points of the ball game.
I'm not going to use my rounders line again, but I'll tell you what, it's just.
Dillingham misses. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, if they can just continue with their aggressiveness on both ends, like stuff like that. You might have a blow by, but you know what? It's taking St. X out of their rhythm. They're a very rhythmic team. They love to run a lot of motion and screens and actions. Right now, the guards are having to break down Seneca's defense, and the help is there. And House came over 2 plays ago and just made an electric block.
Dillingham to trigger the inbounds here, over top for Hankey. Back to Dillingham, his three, and can't get the roll. Has a battle for the rebound, and I believe they're going to get Jeremiah Jackson for the foul down low, and they do.
You know, Justin, throwing the ball into the post settles down your offense. What Jackson has already shown in this game, I'm just making sure he's getting a touch every time down the floor and playing through him and not playing so fast.
He has been the leading scorer for St. X so far with 6 points. As Seneca getting the ball near the bucket, battle for the rebound. And we're going to get a foul down low against the Redhawks. Both these teams battling on the boards.
Yeah, great pass on the dribble penetration, but the length of St. X was able to disrupt that shot. But again, this is a situation where Seneca is really in control of the pace of this game.
That's somewhat surprising. St. X still looking for a little bit of rhythm here is Chief Cameron.
Again, just try and get the ball, coming off that ball screen, which is not a bad shot for him, but maybe Jackson gets his touch.
And now here's a really good shot, as that's the guy you want shooting. Klein missing, though. But if St. X can continue to snag offensive rebounds, you can live with those missed shots, right?
Yeah, and again, they're kind of out of whack as far as what they want to do offensively. And what's great for, again, I'll just reiterate it, get Jackson some touches, play through him. He's a willing passer. Plus, Seneca really doesn't have a guy that can match up with him around the basket. If they can play 4 around 1, which is what they're comfortable doing, that's the formula for them to get back and take the lead in this game.
Jeremiah Towns coming to the sideline for Seneca. As a call back on the floor. Chief Cameron in possession now for the Tigers.
Well, their interaction, Seneca's switching all ball screens.
Over the right, and this, well, they're going to probably rule that ball was tipped.
Yeah, I didn't see it being tipped.
Wow, over and back here. It's a wild pass.
You're coming off those ball screens. They're switching it. Really try and get downhill. Beat your man one-on-one.
And with that, we are going to get a timeout called here with 4:38 left in this first half of play. We'll sneak one in ourselves. Stick with us. More 7th Region semifinal action coming up on Glycod.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
23-17, Seneca on top as we are nearly halfway through this second quarter of play. And then tough sledding for St. X so far, really finding it hard to get into any sort of rhythm offensively. As House on the step back, his shot no good. Hankey clears the rebound, and we're going to get a foul. Justin Galen back here with Mark Lieberman. And, Coach, I wanted to bring this up to you because St. X got an easy 80-35 win against Shawnee in the quarterfinal. Running clock for the entirety of the second quarter, whereas this Seneca team had a close game, 73-63 against Eastern. Does that play into the mindset coming into this one?
Absolutely it does, and you haven't played some close games getting into the playoffs here, and you see another pass thrown away. And yeah, look, Seneca's got nothing to lose. They play those tough, close games. St. X was coming in here, and you're talking about high school kids. They're coming in here and just figure it's going to be 24-5 before, at the end of the first quarter. You've got to earn it. And right now, Seneca understands what's at stake. And you have a guy like House who can just make plays and break it down.
As now a stoppage of play. They're going to say that one went across the end line. As Bryce Johnson set the check back in.
Not sure what this official is
Don't
calling.
either, yeah.
I think he wants a little huddle.
Yeah, Coach Klein's bringing his guys over, and now they're going to send the Seneca guys over to their bench as well. And Coach Hickerson asking how come he gets to talk to his guys and I don't get to talk to mine. Either way, we'll take a break here. Stick with us. More 7th Region semifinal action coming up on Glycod.
Is it a television timeout?
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
And back in action now as Hankey getting it in for Dillingham. As it looks like we maybe had a player with a bloody nose that they had to take care of back here at J.C. Cantrell Gymnasium as Jackson. Good look at three coming out of the break, but misses. As here comes Kelron House, shot fake down low, and that one sent away by the big fella, Henry Peters, a 6'7" junior. And that's one thing about this St. team, coaches. They have got a ton of size. Life is not going to be easy for Seneca down low tonight.
No, House made the right play, got great penetration, but the bigs have really got to be assertive and try and finish these plays.
Now House loses it, but it falls right into the hands of a call. He'll send it down to the left for Gray. Gray back with House. Gives it right back to Gray, who fires the three. And Wheatley on the offensive rebound. His attempt no good. I'd like to see Wheatley take his time there, set up the offense.
Yeah, no reason to force it.
As Hankey in the corner for Johnson. His three well short.
Just no reason, again, just be patient. And really, I think just Jackson needs to touch the basketball.
House on the step back.
Seems like he got hit on that one.
And Wheatley takes it away, lays it up and in, and draws an and one opportunity. And the Seneca bench is fired up as the 8th grader gets his second shot to fall tonight.
Well, if you would have said who was up 80-35 last time they played, the way Seneca's being really aggressive, and House is getting anywhere he wants on the floor. And that's creating so many offensive rebounding opportunities when he does even miss.
As Wheatley's free throw, however, no good. As it is a 10-point Seneca lead, 27-17. Like you said a little bit ago, it seems like they believe in themselves and they're playing like it. As Peters drops this one off for Hankey. Now out for Johnson. Jackson in the corner. His three long. And Peters comes down with the rebound. Offensive rebounds galore here in this one as we're going to get a tie-up as it was Dillingham and Tyron Gray knotted up top the key. And the foul's going to go against Gray.
Here's the thing for Seneca right now. St. X is really pressing from the standpoint of taking a lot of quick threes. If they can be committed to rebounding those long ones, they have a great shot in this game. Because right now, St. X just seems flustered, and they're playing so quick and out of sorts, which is not their style.
The last foul, by the way, on Gray was his second. So he's replaced out there by Reese Asher as a call nearly comes up with the steal. Hankey down low, and Jackson with another finish. And just the second bucket here in this second quarter for St. X. Very surprising.
And St. X is always running a second defender at House. So if they can just make that extra pass like that, you get open shots.
And that was the 8th grader again, Preston Wheatley. who's up to 7 points here in this second quarter. Now on the back cut, Dillingham gets it over. Jackson will try again, and he's cold from the outside the arc tonight as House comes down with the rebound. Just over a minute left.
They haven't been able to stop him inside. I'd love to see him get to the rim.
Now House on the step through, and the Seneca fans behind us getting loud. House now with 13 first half points as Dillingham misses the shot, and Hankey on the and one. Coach Hickerson very frustrated on the sideline. His team had clinched all the momentum and give some back right there.
Well, they did a great job. They force again another quick shot by St. X, but you've got to, if you want to win, this is the time of the year, rebounding, you got to clean the boards. How many times have I said that in the last two games? And I know they lack the size that St. X has, but be physical. Put a body on somebody. Even if you get a push call, that's all right.
Hankey cannot convert at the line, but Peters on the offensive rebound. He can't connect either.
Seems every time it goes into St. X's hands.
As now Johnson missing the two. Trying to feed it down low to Hankey and take it away. And then St. X going to get it right back, and a foul going to be called here on Reese Asher. That's just bad luck there as he slid right into the back of the legs of Days.
Yeah, House kind of relaxed for a second. The double team came, they back tipped him. He gets the rebound. Coach is screaming one shot, which is admirable, but he gets back tipped, and now they go to the line. So instead of going up at least double digits, now St. X has a chance to cut it down inside 10.
As that was the fifth foul against Seneca here in this second quarter. Oh, they're going to send Hankey to the line. I thought it was Days that took the contact. I think you'd much rather have Days at the line. As Hankey just missed one moments ago. See how he fares here. And that might have grazed the front of the rim.
Well, we know how this rim has been in the first half for teams.
That's true, yep.
Well, here's the important thing. You've got Jackson on the line. Make sure you secure this rebound if it is a miss. These are plays that you don't want to give up a second chance for St. X.
Hankey's second one is up and in. So he's now got 5 points here in this first half, and Seneca continuing to lead. They've got a 10-point margin now as Wheatley going to get it across the timeline, leaves it off now for Gray. And absolutely try to hold for the final shot here if you're the Red Hawks.
Yeah, you do, and they are running two players at House, so everybody else with the basketball's got to be strong and consistent.
Here is House with it as we're down to 10.
Here comes that second defender.
House being guarded by a freshman, so let's see if he drives it in, kicks it out. Wheatley's three, gets another one! And that'll conclude the first half of play. Seneca with a fantastic start to this ball game, and they are going to take a 13-point lead to our halftime break. We need to step aside for a breather ourselves. We'll come back on the other side, bring you some first half statistics as well as look ahead to the second half of play. Stick with us. More 7th Region semifinals coming up on Glycod.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Welcome to Holy Smokes Barbecue.
At Holy Smokes Barbecue, our pit masters smoke up mouth-watering ribs, chicken, brisket, mutton, and more. From sandwiches to full dinners, with a complete list of sides and desserts. Holy Smokes Barbecue. Just tell them that the man in the big white hat sent you.
Order up.
How's the pork chop taste?
It's pretty good. It's the best one I've ever had.
Holy Smokes Barbecue. Tell them the man in the big white hat sent you.
When
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. If you're a new or experienced agent and you would like to join Polo Real Estate, contact them at 502-702-7656. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service. And that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Tinsley Family Concessions, a tradition of corporate excellence and community service. For more, visit tfcfamily.com.
This broadcast is authorized by Valley High School with production rights owned by Glycod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you for watching. Justin Kalen back here alongside Mark Lieberman, as it was a fantastic start to this ball game for the Red Hawks of Seneca, coach, as they lead 35-22 here at our halftime break against a very good St. X team.
Yeah, just we talked about that early. We expected to be reversed about what the score would be, but you look at what Seneca's doing. They're not afraid. They're battling, but offensively, House has just been such a great facilitator. Whether he's scoring, creating shots for his teammates, St. X is doubling him. I think they might get away from that just because the Seneca team is making the extra pass and finding really good looks. If I'm St. X, I'm not trying to panic here, and you're just trying to get touches to Jackson and to your guards and just say play within yourself and maybe extend your pressure, get to the free throw line. But, what you don't want to have is your team trying to think that, okay, there's a 13-point play ready to come into the third quarter. Just one at a time, inch away where you can get it down to 3 or 4 going into the fourth.
Yeah, we'll see how it pans out. As let's take a look at some of our halftime stats presented by Ruoff Mortgage. Opening doors, the individual statistics first for the St. X Tigers, as they were led by Jeremiah Jackson. 10 points for him in that first half of play, 5 for Will Hankey, 3 points for Connor Klein, and 2 points each for Chief Cameron and Chance Dillingham for Seneca. A couple of really good performances for them in the first half as Kelron House led them with 13 points. The 8th grader Preston Wheatley had 10 in the first half of play. Terrence Wilson with 7. 3 points for Tyron Gray, 2 points for Corion Martin, as it is a 35-22 lead for Seneca at the half as they make their way back out onto the floor. Sure St. X will be right behind them as we'll step aside for a break here, come back on the other side, and we will bring you the second half of action. Stick with us. More 7th Region semifinal action coming up on Glycod.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Tradition means values, and we want a banker who has the same philosophy. Traditional Bank is a Kentucky-based business, and that does mean a lot to a business that is based in Kentucky. They know what we're going through. They are always there for us, and that means more than anything else. My name is Allison. I choose Traditional Bank because of the personal service. Paddle on into Canoe, Kentucky.
Blind Direct, not just blinds. Blind Direct, not just blinds.
Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 male graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
Justin Kalen back here alongside Mark Lieberman as we are set now for the second half of action. 35-22, Seneca on top. And in somewhat surprising score here at our halftime break. Coach, how does St. X battle their way back in this?
Somewhat. Just being patient and just like that, running their offense, just not turning it over.
As now here comes Wheatley with it. He had a fantastic first half of play, and they're going to say he loses it out of play here. How about for Seneca? How do they hang on and secure the win here in this one?
Rebound the basketball. And they just, they turn St. X over here. St. X, if they play out of sorts, rebound, and they can stay in this game.
Let's see how St. X attacks it here.
I expected Jackson just to get as many touches as possible.
Yeah, 10 points in that first half as Dillingham will take the first shot here and can't convert.
Yeah, contested jump shots like that right now. I mean, I'd pound the ball inside. That's what your strength is. And
that one trying to get it to House, but it finds another Red Hawk. Now Wheatley on the rebound, and he gets it knocked away. No call yet. They're going to say it stays here with Seneca.
Yeah, Seneca's had 2 chances here to extend this lead.
Preston Wheatley has had probably 2 or 3 instances tonight where he's had the ball under the rim and gets double teamed. I wish he would find a teammate outside the perimeter instead of trying to force one up.
Well, he's a young player, and that's exactly right. You're spot on. Dribble to create, it's a Golden State Warriors mentality. Attack the paint to create a shot for somebody else. He'll learn as he gets older.
Sure. He's got a bright future here for Seneca. As here they come across the timeline. Dillingham trying to sell the offensive foul there.
Yeah, you don't want to be too aggressive here where you get a foul call.
As here's House, he'll step into a shot.
Now, that's another tough shot, but just get back and limit them to 1.
Now Jackson on the pull up, and not an ideal shot for them either. And both these teams quickly firing off shots here to begin their offensive possession.
Yeah, that's just not what you want there. Contested shots where he's your best rebounder and he's away from the basket.
That's Gray with it, kicks it out. Wheatley's 3, and he hits again. Have yourself a night, Preston Wheatley. Now 13 points, 3 threes here in this ball game. As Chief Cameron trying to get things cooking for St. X.
Like to see something going to the rim or getting a post touch.
Cameron will fire this one, and he answers right back. Now 5 points for Cameron.
Now allows them to set up their press too, but love to see the backline guys sprint out of it.
Here's another 3 by Seneca. This time no good as that was fired up by Terrence Wilson. Quickly back come the other direction with the Tigers. And Cameron can't get that one to fall. House comes down with the board. Now House spinning in the lane and lays it up and in. And that is the second time tonight that Kelron House has had a move to the bucket that gets fans off their feet, or on their feet rather.
You like to see Terrence Williams, that last 3, just know you're, wow.
What was that? As Cameron throws it right to the Seneca defender, and he lays it up and in. That was Terrence Wilson, and an odd play there as Seneca going to grab their biggest lead of the night, 42-25. Still waiting on our signal for the timeout here. It's going to be a full timeout, so we'll step aside for one as well. More 7th Region semifinal action coming right up on Glycod.
The reason I went to Traditional Bank, I just felt at peace. The atmosphere was different.
Anytime we need anything, Traditional Bank's always there for us. Can't say enough about them.
Tradition to me means integrity. That's what our product is based on. Just the way I did it 25 years ago, we're doing it now on a mass scale.
My name's Curtis Mackley, and I choose Traditional Bank because of the relationship we have formed with them and their integrity. Welcome to Mingy Beef Jerky.
You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
(42-25). Seneca has extended their lead, was 13 at half, now up to 17 here as we have played nearly 3 minutes in this third quarter. Justin Kalen back alongside Coach Mark Lieberman. And Coach, it's been a flurry of action coming out of the halftime break, but Seneca looks like, you mentioned it in the first half, and I'm going to keep going back to it, but they are playing like they believe they're the better team here in this one.
They really do. For St. X right now, I would think getting Jackson the touch on the post is so important.
And now another St. X turnover as House comes away with it. He'll try to go up against Jackson, gets it to fall in the and one. And Coach Hickerson turns around and screams at the crowd. He's all jacked up.
Yeah, and you look at the St. X bench, it's like, it's shock right now. And You know, you're down almost 20 in the middle of the third quarter. Just take good shots. You can't really just think that you're going to win this game right now on each possession. Get the ball inside, get Jackson a touch, get to the free throw line one at a time.
You got to get back to what's made them so successful all season, and they've got to find a way to do that. They've only tasted defeat 3 times, one of them to an in-state opponent. I believe it was Trinity, and then their other 2 losses were to out-of-state opponents. So losing to Kentucky school's not something they're all that accustomed to this season. As Jackson,
he gets a ball screen there. I don't even like the ball screen action. Good move, though. He's able to finish that through traffic. I just try and get the floor spread for round 1 for him. But when they do score, they can press.
As coming across, Dillingham trying to sell an offensive foul again. As Seneca will slow it down. Luckily, Kelron House comes to get that one.
What you don't want to do here is play to lose and worry about the clock. Yeah. If you can get a good basket, attack.
As we're going to get a timeout here, taken by Coach Hickerson and the Red Hawks, as it'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here through this one with 3:55 left in this third quarter of play. And I love that phrase you just used, Coach. You cannot play to not lose this game. You got to continue to play to win, continue doing the things that have helped you build this 18-point lead.
Right. You can't start playing the clock. And, they've been very aggressive. Their defense has been swarming. They've attacked the rim. Continue with that. If you're just trying to play the clock, all of a sudden, this is not a team that has a tremendous amount of ball handlers. Then St. X can turn you over and make their run. It's not what you want. Continue to attack.
At what point, if you're Coach Hickerson, do you start playing the clock?
Maybe the fourth quarter. You just right now it's not that time. You want to continue to do what you've been doing.
Ball inbounded here for Tyron Gray. Dillingham guarding him hard as he's able to hand it off now for Kelron House. House on the step back 3, and he connects. My goodness.
And there it is. Like House is playing with house money, and so pun intended. So for him, he's going to keep attacking. I want to still look at getting Jackson the ball in the post.
As Dillingham will try to answer, can't convert.
It's not the shot you want.
And then that ball thrown away right into the bench of St. X. 48-21, Seneca all over St. X here in this one.
What I've liked what they've done too, they've taken House off the ball, and it's a smart move because they were trapping him every single time. Now they're still trapping the guard, but now you have an opportunity for House maybe to flash.
And Dillingham going to pick up the foul here, a little too aggressive guarding that inbound.
It's a third-team foul, and they're just 2 away from getting to the free throw line. And now House has Jackson on them. Might be an opportunity to get him a touch where Jackson can create, House can create off of him. And they're going for a dribble handoff.
Tyron Gray hands it off for House here. He'll utilize a screen, now gets past Jackson, right like you were talking about, and gets all the way to the bucket. 23 now for Kelron House. As Jackson going to try to answer, and he'll take some contact by Akol. A lot of shocked people in this building right now.
I'm going to use the phrase that all announcers or colored people talk about as analysis here. Plenty of time left in the game.
Yep.
You've got almost 13 minutes for a team that's has a lot of offensive prowess, but they've got to make a commitment on the defensive end.
As Jackson going to head to the free throw stripe, try to cut into this 23-point deficit. Never thought I'd say those words here in this game as Jackson gets it up and in. Bryce Johnson back onto the floor now for St. X.
If he hits this shot, I'd like to see them do something different than just doubling the ball. I'd like to see them maybe go for a 2-2-1 or a different type of pressure and have Seneca try and figure that out because that's not working right now.
And Jackson goes 2 of 2 from the stripe that time. He's now got 14 points here in this one. As House set to get it across the timeline, now up for Gray.
Making sure the ball gets back to House. And when he has Jackson on him, he can take him off the dribble.
Yeah, he's got a huge speed advantage in that matchup. As here's Wheatley, the 8th grader. How about that, going right up against the big fella, Will Hankey.
He just dropped his shoulder and just finished the play. Hankey's got to get big and large on that one and not let him get to the rim.
Been really impressed by Preston Wheatley here in this one tonight.
No question.
He's not scared of the moment at all. As Jackson cross court for Klein. And Klein will get all the way to the hoop for the finish.
Nice move. You know, they ran them off the three-point line.
52-31. And now House with a wild pass that finds Wheatley. Quickly up, going to the bucket, and another one drops. This time, Corian Martin. Klein tried to answer on the other end with a 3, and he will.
Big basket, and Klein's been last 5 points. But that's, again, they've got to get stops. They're gambling defensively, and you know, they're out of position, and now you have House with, and he's got a speed advantage there.
As Jackson again D'ing him up, and House gonna go to the free throw stripe for a pair.
Yeah, just having Jackson on him, he's able to beat him off the bounce. He recognizes that immediately. Really impressed with House's basketball IQ. And I'll tell you what, you know, coming into this game, he is a prolific scorer.
Yeah. And he has shown just that tonight as he's got 23, a chance to add on to that here. Make it 24.
You almost got a reversal of fortune here about what the score was last 2 times they played.
Yeah.
They flipped the script.
And House converts on them both. Jason Freak sitting off to my right, looking forward to his post-game interview with Coach Ickerson. As Klein now leaving it off for Dillingham. And Dillingham, another bad decision as he throws this one away.
Yeah, they're just basically running ball screens right now where early on just you can run some pin downs and get Jackson touches.
I've seen this St. X team, I think, 3 times this season, and this is so unlike the St. X team I've gotten to see, as they will force the 10-second violation. Coach Ickerson thought it was a little quick. He's been very entertaining to watch on that sideline tonight. Almost every bucket they score, he turns around, stares at the crowd. He's loving this moment.
Well, he's still got 11 minutes, so, you know, you can't have slippage right now. They're in control of this one.
Be 9 minutes, Coach. Math's
9 minutes, I'm sorry.
Math's not your strong suit.
You're right about that, it isn't.
As Dillingham on the step back, and that's just been the kind of night it's been for him. And Jackson can't convert either. Bryce Johnson finally clears the rebound, and then he throws it away right into the arms of House.
I think we got
technical on Coach Klein. Wow. Things going from bad to worse here for St. X. As Ron House will go to the stripe, not the guy you want to see there if you're St. X trying to battle back in this one.
Well, right now it's a 22-point lead.
Unbelievable.
How about that for my math?
Unbelievable. That's pretty good, yeah. You've shown vast improvement. As House knocks down the first one. One more opportunity here.
You know, everybody was counting on that rematch of Trinity and St. X, and I'll tell you what, I mean, Seneca came in here with a disposition, and from the get-go, we talked about it. You just don't want to give them any life, and they have just played this entire game with such fervor and energy.
Is that one of those things, Coach, where if you're St. X and you know that the only team you've lost to in the state this season was Trinity, they've already punched their ticket, overlooking this Seneca team?
Yep, that's exactly right.
As Dillingham, and he can't hit that one. What a tough night, and Coach Klein is losing it on the St. X sideline. And his team will get the turnover here. As his son Connor dribbling it up, he'll lay it off now for Jackson. And Jackson near the timeline, down to 10 seconds.
I'd really shrink the gaps here. Make him a passer. Take away his driving lanes, which they did.
And he pops at the free throw line. Doesn't matter as he gets it. And that will bring us to the end of a third quarter of play. A tough quarter for St. X as Seneca has extended their lead up to 21. We've got one final quarter left to play here in your 7th Region semifinal. Game number 2 tonight on Glycod.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. If you're a new or experienced agent and you would like to join Polo Real Estate, contact them at 502-702-7656. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
And back here, Valley High School, J.C. Cantrell's gymnasium here on the campus of Valley High School. Justin Kalen back alongside Mark Lieberman. And what a game tonight for Seneca as they take a 21-point lead to the 4th and final frame. And
you look at and you look at the numbers. I mean, you have a St. X team shooting 32.6% from the field, and you have a Seneca team shooting 55.3.
Wow, yeah, that's the difference there.
And we've seen so many baskets go in and out and not finishing those plays. If you're St. X right now, you've just got to play just relentless and finish every play, attack the rim, don't settle for contested threes, and get stop after stop after stop. But I think House is a problem, and so he's made so many good decisions throughout this game.
We'll see if they're able to battle back or not as House will receive the inbounds, and he is promptly fouled by Connor Klein. I don't think that's strategic, but maybe it is.
Well, he was clever. He was a pressure release guy, and he flashed to the ball, felt the contact on his back, and just fell. That's just a clever play.
Ball inbounded now here. Dropping it over the top for Wheatley, who can't catch it cleanly, but he recovers and lays it up and in. Preston Wheatley now with 17 here in this ball game, and Chance Dillingham steps on the end line. Tough night for the St. X junior Chance Dillingham, who has been fantastic this season. As I mentioned, an all 7th region player, has not played like it tonight. As Gray coming across the timeline. And St. X has definitely picked up the defensive pressure here.
Yeah, they're flying around, but maybe not in great position because of stuff like that.
And Wheatley another one.
It's not they're just flying to the ball instead of understanding that there's open passing lanes.
Lead now up to 25 as we're going to get a foul on the floor. And like we've touched on during this game, it was a 30-point St. X win the first meeting. Seneca's trying to give them some payback here tonight. Very impressed with this Red Hawks team. Into the backcourt for Chief Cameron. Now off to Will Hankey as we played a minute here in this 4th and final frame. Hankey loses it, but able to recover. Now fires a pass into the corner. Cameron's three no good, but the stick back up and in by Bryce Johnson. First points of the evening for Bryce Johnson. Averages 6.5 a game. As Gray across the timeline, using his speed, getting it down low for Wheatley. And he draws some contact.
I'm really impressed with Gray as well. They're trapping House, but he's making great decisions. They're speeding him up, but he has poise and making the right play. And that's when you have a second guard, when the team's trying to pressure you, that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, he's definitely had a fantastic game as he's dealt with the pressure phenomenally as Wheatley going to fire up for his 20th point of the night.
Justin, we're already a minute and 22 seconds, how's that math, into this quarter. And St. X has not made a dent into this lead.
In fact, the lead has gone
Extended,
up.
yeah.
It's back up to 25.
If you're Seneca, you almost want to think about going 2-3 zone and just slowing the pace of this game down.
As Jackson going to try to drive in, loses possession, but the St. X will stay alive here.
You've done so well with your aggressiveness. You almost want to tone them down and make St. X play a little bit slower.
That would definitely give them a different defensive look, which would make them think and stop and think for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
As Klein set the trigger, the inbound. Over the top for Hankey. And Hankey all the way to the bucket for the finish.
Well, you just can't trade baskets at this point. You've got to get stops. And again, Gray's been really impressive handling the basketball off of House.
He gets it out for House before the ball's taken away. House able to get it off. There's a turnover as Chief Cameron coming the other direction. He'll go all the way, slings it in the corner. Jackson's three, got it. Now 19 in the ball game for Jeremiah Jackson.
That's where Wilson has to understand his role. He's not a scorer. He's not a facilitator. Just find one of your guards. No reason for you to try and make a play.
And Coach Hickerson losing a lot of energy on the sideline, trying to call the timeout, and he gets it. It's a full timeout, so we'll step aside for one as well with 5:49 left in this game. We've got the conclusion coming up for your 7th Region semifinals tonight on Glycod.
I'm your overly competitive brother. Psych. And I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh? Foul! And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Thanks, bro.
Take a lap, rookie.
Contact Louisville and Lexington Allstate agent Thomas Allen for a quote today. You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
And back here, Valley High School, as we have got a 20-point game, 63-43. Seneca on top of St. X, who is the #2 scoring team in the state at 83 points a game behind just Lyon County, who puts up nearly 88. This St. X team has been held to just 43 through about a 3.5 quarters here. Justin Caleb back with Mark Lieberman. Seneca will have the basketball coming out of this timeout, and Coach Hickerson telling his guys during that break, just be smart, use your head. As Kelron House.
Yeah, you have a guy who can dribble through 3 defenders. I mean, that really helps. And Gray has been tremendous.
And right as you say that, he turns it over, but they get it back. Down low to Wheatley, back up and in. Wheatley now with 23 points. It's been the Preston Wheatley and Kelron House show. As Gray comes away with the rebound. Off for House, and he'll get it on over. Now down low, Wheatley again, who's just clogging up that inside lane.
Yeah, he is. He was clever to bring the ball out there. Smart play.
Now Gray on top.
And you see Wilson here. He got it from the coaches. He's not going to force anything.
And House is going to be ruled for the over and back here. Looked like he was pushed a little bit there by Connor Klein, but no call as it goes back to the Tigers.
You're going to see a lot of physicality in these last 5 minutes, so we'll see how the referees call it, because both teams, there's going to be pressing on St. X's part, and they're going to be attacking the rim. We'll see how the referees call it.
Now Chief Cameron in possession, drops it down low for Jackson, who has been one of the lone bright spots for St. X here in this one tonight with his 19 points. As we get a foul called this time against Martin. Next leading scorer for St. X is Connor Klein with 8 points. As Cameron's 3 comes off. And St. X going to keep the pressure alive as they get it off for House now, and he never stopped his dribble. Down low, Wheatley. This time a little bit of a tougher finish as he had to get that over Jackson. And quickly up Klein, step back three.
Yeah, just attack the rim and just keep chipping away.
Seneca in trouble here, as we are going to get a timeout called by Coach Hickerson, as it's going to be a 30-second timeout. We'll try to slide one in as well. Stick with us. More 7th Region semifinal action coming up on Glycod.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
(65-43) Seneca on top, as we are down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game, as it looks like Seneca's going to be able to hang on to this one. But as you said, Coach, a lot of time left. We've still got over 4 minutes, but it's going to be tough sledding for St. X. They're going to need more of that, as the three-pointer by Dillingham misses after the steal by Cameron. And Cameron trying to go over to Dillingham and throw well over his head.
I'd rather them attack the rim, and you have a chance to get fouled, stops the clock, rather than just trying to shoot three after three after three.
Seneca holds on for the win here in this one. They will have their first 7th Region Championship appearance since way back in 1968. So how about that for history?
Yeah, that's wild. And to come in here against a really good St. X team and to control this game throughout.
Well, and if they can dispatch of St. X like this, they could do the exact same thing to Trinity. Especially with the way their guys have played here tonight, as Wheatley, another bucket down low, and he continues to munch. Now 15 here in this second half for Wheatley.
Yeah, these aren't the kind of shots you want to try and come back. Just I sound like a broken record, but you really want to attack the rim and try and get a foul. You have the size advantage.
And Coach Klein is resigned to his seat on that St. X sideline. 67-43. As the pressure continuing for St. X, but Seneca.
And that's the thing, they're pressing, but you don't have guys pushed up and taking away those next passing lanes. It's just they're making the extra pass, and St. X is playing behind. You've got to be really aggressive. Force passes over your head, be pushed up, be ready to attack any loose ball, and they're just the backline guys are the guys that are really important when you're pressing.
Seneca really hasn't had many issues with that press here tonight, as we are just over 3 minutes left. As down low, House takes some more contact, so he'll head to the stripe for a pair.
He's an impressive young player.
Absolutely.
Guys that can get paint touches, especially against double teams, and then crafty enough to make the right play, which he's done throughout this game. Yeah, he really has a high IQ and is really clever and crafty.
And able to knock down the first free throw here. We'll have one more opportunity. By the way, this segment of tonight's game is brought to you by Allstate Insurance Agent Thomas Allen. For a quote on home, auto, or life insurance, contact Thomas at 502-425-8484. As Dillingham down low, and Johnson able to get it up and in. By the way, those last two free throws were the first points of the quarter for Kilron House.
And Wilson inbounded the basketball right underneath the basket. You don't have a lot of room there. You need to space out so you have a better passing angle. He didn't realize probably that he can move off a made basket.
Inbounded for Jackson. Now Dillingham. He nearly gets that ball poked loose, and It's going to take some contact here.
Would like to have seen more of that in the third and early fourth quarter, as far as kind of back it in, stop the clock, get to the foul line.
As Dillingham inbounds it here.
Three-pointer
by Johnson,
shots.
no good. Now quickly up the floor they come again. Cross court, and they're going to hold the ball. Good call here. As House driving baseline, and he will get up and get it down. Now 30 points for House here in this one. 30 for House, 25 for Wheatley. Those two have had an impressive ball game here tonight as they've outscored St. X by 10 themselves, and now we're going to get a tackle out there. Dillingham thought he was maybe playing some football.
Just 45 points for a team that really can score the basketball.
38 below their season average.
Yeah, it's March, Justin, it's March.
It absolutely is, and this game is evidence of that. Anything can happen. As it's going to be Tyron Gray heading to the free throw stripe. And a mass exodus going on right now here at Valley High School as Gray knocks down the first one.
I would probably get some of those guys out if I'm coach here, just to make sure nothing ever happens. You got another game coming up on Monday.
Yeah.
Get a House to the bench as quick as you can.
There's now three here by Johnson, no good. And St. X looks like they're going to call off the Dogs with under 2 minutes left to play. And Jackson going to foul House here, so he'll head to the stripe for a couple more. Coach Hickerson a little annoyed. He's ready for this thing to be over, start the celebration. Once again, first regional championship appearance since 1968.
Again, trying to reiterate, probably want to sub and get some of these guys out. They got another game Monday. You never know what happens.
As the free throw up and in by Kilron House. And goes 1 of 2. Jackson will fire this one. And that's been the story of the night. St. X just unable to get anything to fall. And they are going to lose this ball game. They trail by 28. 80 seconds left here in this one. As Wheatley kicks it into the corner. Thought about a three. Wisely just going to pull it down. And they're just trying to eat up this clock as Wheatley back out for House. 1 minute left to play as a host of substitutions at the table for Seneca. And in they come to the ball game as the starters will be relieved. What an awesome performance by them here tonight.
Wow.
It's going to be Daryl Smith, a 5'8 sophomore, coming on for Seneca. Reese Asher, a 5'8 junior, coming on. Kadeem Niang also onto the floor. Jeremiah Towns back out there for Seneca, and the final guy that made his way on was Mohamed Jobe, a 5'10 sophomore. And I figured these young guys were going to try to score here.
Hey, listen, they get their opportunity. It's all right.
As Cameron lays that one up and in, but that's going to be pretty meaningless at the end of this thing, as Chief now with 7 points. And crossing the timeline with it, down to 35 seconds. And the turnover here. And Jackson all the way to the hoop. All it took was the second unit for St. X to make things look easy. But they're still not going to score. Well, can't say that now because we get a foul and free throws kept coming. But
well, you know how this rim has been all night. It's been very finicky, so we'll see what happens.
I was just going to make the point. St. X not even going to crack 50 here in this one. The free throw up and misses. One more chance here for Reese Asher, who's at the free throw line. And he got it. Now here come the Tigers, down to 15 seconds left in this one as Cameron will fire the deep three and rebounded. And they're going to go up for Joe Bay, who lays it up and in. And that's the exclamation mark as Seneca going to win this 76-49 in a complete domination of a game. The 27-point margin is their biggest lead they had all night as they did a fantastic job from start to finish here in this one tonight. We'll step aside for a break, catch our breath, and come back on the other side. Start your post game as we have wrapped up the basketball portion of your 7th Region semifinals this evening. Stick with us, more upcoming on Glycod.
Go ahead, pour it on, as thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham, always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something at school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Gen Z is a stall generation. The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables. But last week, I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets.
Cuckoo Krusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a side of ranch.
For your surprisingly great home and auto rate, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Brian Morrison and Mike Shelton. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And back here, Valley High School, where we have wrapped up our 7th Region semifinal games here this evening. And the second one was a crazy ball game as Seneca gets it done by 27, 76-49. Justin Kalen back here with Mark Lieberman. And coach, this was the St. X team averaging 83 points a game this season, held to 49, complete domination by the Red Hawks tonight.
I mean, it was just, you saw it from the get-go. Seneca just believed. They were aggressive. House was just incredible. And it just seemed like St. X was just, when I say pressing, not defensively, they were just forcing some shots. They're just trying to get back in the game. And all of a sudden, they had so many defensive lapses and slippage. They allowed so many open baskets. And all of a sudden, you figure they're going to come out in the third quarter and make their run. And Seneca extended that lead.
Yeah, very impressive performance tonight as this was a Seneca team. They were leading, or actually it was tied after one at 14. They extended that up to a 13-point margin, 35-22 at the halftime break. 57-36 was the score after 3, and then a final score of 76-49. As there's your recap, we'll step aside for a break here, come back on the other side, and bring you your final statistics from this one. Stick with us, more 7th Region semifinal action coming up on Glycon.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Tradition means values, and we want a banker who has the same philosophy. Traditional Bank is a Kentucky-based business, and that does mean a lot to a business that is based in Kentucky. They know what we're going through. They are always there for us, and that means more than anything else. My name is Allison. I choose Traditional Bank because of the personal service. Paddle on into Canoe, Kentucky.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. If you're a new or experienced agent and you would like to join Polo Real Estate, contact them at 502-702-7656. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Blind Direct, not just blinds. Blind Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
And back here, Valley High School, where we have wrapped up the basketball portion of our 7th Region semifinals here tonight, as it was Trinity 47-35 over Mail in the first contest, and then complete domination by Seneca as they get it done 76-49 in the second game. As we've got to bring you some final statistics. A look at tonight's final numbers are brought to you by Ruoff Mortgage, opening doors. First, let's start with our individual scoring for the losing Seneca Tigers, as they were led by Jeremiah Jackson. 21 points for him in this one, 8 points for Connor Klein, 7 for Chief Cameron, 7 for Will Hankey, 4 points for Bryce Johnson, and 2 for Chance Dillingham. For Seneca, a fantastic performance by Kelron House, 31 points for him, 25 for Preston Wheatley, 9 points for Terrence Wilson, 4 points for Tyron Gray, 4 points also for Corian Martin, 2 points for Mohamed Jobe late in the contest, and 1 point for Reese Asher. As there's a look at your final statistics brought to you by Ruoff Mortgage, opening doors. We'll step aside one final break here tonight, and we'll come back, bring you your most outstanding players. Stick with us. One final segment upcoming here on Glycod.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets. Cuckoo Crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For your surprisingly great home and auto rate, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The reason I went to traditional bank, I just felt at peace. The atmosphere was different.
Anytime we need anything, Traditional Bank's always there for us. Can't say enough about them.
Tradition to me means integrity. That's what our product is based on. Just the way I did it 25 years ago, we're doing it now on a mass scale.
My name's Curtis Mackley, and I choose Traditional Bank because of the relationship we have formed with them and their integrity. Welcome to Mingy Beef Jerky.
Gen Z is a stall generation. The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
I'm your overly competitive brother. Psych. And I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh? Foul! And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me. Thanks, bro. Take a lap, rookie.
Contact Louisville and Lexington Allstate agent Thomas Allen for a quote today. You're watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
And back one final time here to Valley High School. Justin Kalen alongside Mark Lieberman as we have wrapped up our doubleheader tonight in the 7th Region semifinal round, as it was a 47-35 win for Trinity, and they will take on the Seneca Redhawks in the regional championship. That game is slated for Monday night. That'll be right here on Glycod. But first, we've got to name some most outstanding players presented by State Farm insurance agents Mike Shelton and Brian Morrison. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Coach, let's first start with the losing Seneca Tigers. Pretty easy player of the game decision for us tonight on their terms.
Yeah, just Jeremiah Jackson.
It's got to be, yeah.
And unfortunately, we'd love to have seen him got more touches around the basket and trying to really try and chip away at that lead. But every time he touched it, he was effective.
Yeah, no doubt. And it was a little more tricky on the Seneca side of things, but ultimately we decided to go with Kelron House. 31 points, including 18 of those in the second half as Seneca extended their lead.
You know, they couldn't speed him up. They couldn't make him play out of control. He had such poise throughout the game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's take a look at what's upcoming here on Glycod, as that was a look at your most outstanding players. Tomorrow at noon, we'll have DeSales and Fairdale, followed by Evangel Christian and J-Town in the 6th region. Boys 11th region semifinals at Dunbar tomorrow. Frederick Douglass, Lexington Catholic, and Great Crossing versus Madison Southern. That's where I will be tomorrow. Girls 6th and 7th region championships, as well as 8th region and 11th region championships tomorrow as well, right here on Glycod. Then Monday, we'll have the boys 8th region semifinals at Henry County and the boys 7th region championship at Valley, which we now know will be Trinity and Seneca. Before we get out of here, certainly want to thank Steve Bird, the executive producer of Glycod. Tim Bryan was our on-site producer. Greg Bryan was on camera this evening. And, of course, you, Coach, Mark Lieberman. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Just March Madness. You know, the game you never expected to go, expected the score to be reversed. So it's a fun time for everybody. Yeah. Not for St. X tonight, but for most basketball fans.
Yeah, no doubt. We enjoyed it here and glad to bring you this coverage. Alongside Mark Lieberman, this is Justin Kalen saying so long and good night. You've been watching 7th Region semifinal action tonight right here on Glycod.
You've been watching the 7th Region Basketball Tournament on Glycod. Tonight's game was brought to you by UA Local 502, built on excellence, building a better tomorrow. Tinsley Family Concessions, commitment to quality. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust. State Farm Insurance agents Brian Morrison and Mike Shelton. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles. Allstate Insurance agent Thomas Allen. He puts you in good hands. Thomas Car Wash and Holy Smokes Barbecue.
Visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation from Glycod.